Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv, and I hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? So, there's actually, even though today's news is all about the U.S. elections, nothing else matters today, right? For the most part, any kind of Bitcoin movements, crypto movements, I don't know that matters for right now. My outlook is that a lot of people are going to be thinking that if Trump wins, the market's going to immediately skyrocket up because he's seen as the businessman. And if Harris wins, it'll drop and then immediately shoot up. Now, here's what's interesting. That could actually be a really good thing, to have a drop and then shoot up. Even Mike Novogratz of Galaxy Digital agrees with that. I'm in that boat. If Harris was to win, I think there would be a drop because everybody would be wondering, well, what's her stance? And blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Not paying attention to, she's already made a statement through who she's working with and actually through statements. So I think that's going to be underplayed so much that it'll send, not panic, but the market will question what the next steps are. But I think it'll go up, go down, and then shoot up. In which case, we'd still be on track for a, $200,000 Bitcoin by the end of next year, by the end of 2025. Even Bernstein says, yeah, that's going to happen. But imagine if Trump wins, it immediately shoots up. I think that it'll immediately shoot up and then come back down a little bit. And the reason why is because I think turmoil was set in. What's he going to do? What are his actual plans? What does he actually wind up doing when he's in office? Those kinds of things. As you know, I don't talk about politics. I'm just talking about how certain events, certain macro events would affect the crypto market. So let's not get it twisted. This is not a political conversation. SBI Holdings expands tokenization efforts in Singapore. That's not a small thing. Launching new pilot projects to digitize assets. Let me tell you something. I don't know that the United States is keeping up with other areas around the world, other countries around the world that are truly embracing crypto. And not necessarily embracing because, oh my God, crypto is the best thing since sliced bread. More kind of like, well, if we don't embrace it, we'll get trounced by it. That kind of thing. Singapore is an international. It is a global financial hub. Period. Right? You have certain areas that are global financial hubs. Singapore is one of them. Let's not forget that. So them moving on, at a level like that, moving on tokenization, pay attention to that. There are a lot of companies here. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of companies here that are doing tokenization. Even municipalities. Look at California moving. Using Avalanche to move 47 million automobile titles to the blockchain. Tell me that's not huge. Those are huge things. So what you're doing is you're literally watching pent up energy become even more pent up. That's what you're watching. Then you have Mt. Gox moving $2.2 billion in Bitcoin, about 32,371 Bitcoin, to unmarked wallets. And, again, remember, they've been experiencing ongoing repayment delays. So this money, basically, everybody already knows about this money. They've got to start, paying it out. And that's the issue. And remember, most people, when they get their Bitcoin, they're probably not going to sell. People that sell their Bitcoin, so whoever's getting Bitcoin from the whole Mt. Gox fiasco, those people are probably not going to sell unless they're in dire straits. They're not going to sell jack. I know if I had money coming to me or assets coming to me from Mt. Gox, I wouldn't be selling any Bitcoin. If he gave me Bitcoin instead of cash, I'm not selling anything. I'm going to sit back and chill. I'm going to sit back and in about 2 years, maybe I'll leverage my Bitcoin. Still my Bitcoin, but maybe I'll leverage my Bitcoin to go do a little something. But other than that, yeah, nah, no sir. It's going to sit there. So I'm just stockpiling Bitcoin as much as I can. Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. That's it. That is it. Right? Because everybody be like, well, you can make money off of that. Why would you? Bitcoin is a completely different animal than all the altcoins that are out there. Completely different. It's a finite resource, number one. Two, you're going to be able to leverage Bitcoin. You see all these big companies, all these big players out there, they're taking loans out on Bitcoin and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So imagine if you could go to a bank. Let's suppose you had one Bitcoin. You could go to 1, 2, 3, 4 Bitcoin, whatever number it is. You could go to a bank, take a loan against your Bitcoin, start a business. That business is a good, strong business, and you're making money off that business, meaning now you can pay back that loan while your Bitcoin sits there and continues to grow. Now, do you understand? That's what I mean. So I'm sitting back and I'm saying, yeah, that's why I'm building Bitcoin. That's why I'm building Bitcoin. My mom is now, like I said before, you guys know I'm not a spring chicken, right? So my mom, whose age you don't need to know, but she's my mom, so not a spring chicken. Spry in the brain, though. Spry. Love it. We talk every day via video, and she watches the show, learns from the show, takes notes. Obviously, she has a copy of the books. Yeah, I said books, plural. And she goes out and she buys her own Bitcoin. And she is elated. I'm elated. Buys her own Bitcoin. She goes, how come you're only letting me buy Bitcoin? I want to buy something else. I said, well, then you're allowed to buy SHIB. That's what I told her. You're allowed to buy SHIB. But I really want you to put the bulk of your money into Bitcoin, period. And she goes, bet. I have a plan. I have a DCA strategy on how I'm going to buy Bitcoin. I know my entry. I know my exits. She's been listening. Awesome. And she goes, but why? And I told her, Bitcoin is something that you're going to be able to take out a loan for. Do something with it that'll make you money, right? And enough money where you be in the black and still be able to pay back the loan. Meanwhile, you're still holding on to your Bitcoin. Right now, there's no other coin that you could do that with. Not in a normal like-for-like traditional finance to crypto situation where you're not taking a loan from hard money. No, you're taking a loan. You're going to be able to take loans from regular banks to be able to do that. That's why. And she goes, oh. I said, yeah. So wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be freaking awesome? Yeah. So that's why I'm saying, if you hear me say, oh, I'm going to buy some of this, I'm also buying the equivalent, dollar number in Bitcoin. I buy this, I'm buying that. I buy this, I'm buying that. I buy this, I'm buying that. I'm stocking up on Bitcoin as much as I can. As much as I honestly can. The whole Mt. Gox situation, like I said, I don't think anybody's going to panic or freak over that number, so they moved it. They're only going to be paying it out to a whole bunch of people that are not going to sell. What you would have to be on crack to sell Bitcoin when you get it from Mt. Gox. Unless you, like I said, unless you're in dire straits, and that would make sense to sell your Bitcoin because you're in dire straits. But unless you're in dire straits, I wouldn't touch my Bitcoin. And if I'm in dire straits, I still might consider not selling my Bitcoin. Because it's kind of like, well, I've been in this situation before. I've been in this situation, so it's not going to change. Yes, I came into money, but if I sell it now, I'm going to get this much. If I wait, if I'm strong enough to wait, I might have that much. That's the difference. That's the difference. So I don't think that's going to have a huge deal. You know what is a huge deal, though? Hamster Kombat. Hamster Kombat came on, like a thunderstorm, came out making noise. Everybody wants to play and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And you know what I told everybody? I said, airdrops are cute. Airdrops are cute. And that's why a lot of these games had taken off because they were giving away airdrops. The more you play, tap to earn, you get an airdrop and blah, blah, blah. I've received airdrops and haven't played a doggone game, not once. Not once. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I received, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but I don't have time to play those games. I'm too busy doing research for the community. But their user base dropped by 85%. 85%. Reflecting significant engagement challenges within play-to-earn gaming and broader retention issues in blockchain gaming. No, not the latter, just the former. Play-to-earn has a problem because it's temporary attention, right? Temporarily, while you have not done the airdrops yet, I'll play because I want the airdrop. Once the airdrop is over, I have zero incentive to play unless your game is addictive. Things like Farmville, what was out there before Farmville? There was another one. But like things like Farmville, where you've got to build things and take care of things, and they force you to wait and this, that, and the other. Okay, that was interesting. That was fun. I was playing one of those games for a minute because it was fun. I would use it as my think time. So cool. So when I look at Hamster Kombat just dropping, I'm looking at that whole space. If your airdrop is over or it's very much in between, like you have an airdrop now, and the next one is scheduled all the way, then somehow in here, people are just gonna, die off. They're just gonna be like, I don't feel like playing this anymore. They get bored. It's not cool anymore. It's not riveting. It's not this. It's not that. I'm not getting paid. So I'm like, yeah, forget that. So when I look at Hamster Kombat, yeah, I thought about getting involved, and I was like, yeah, no, I ain't got time. And you're like, oh, you could have bought the coin after. Yeah, no. None of those games. None of those games. Excuse me, not feeling it. So I'm not shocked that they lost 85% of their user base. Maybe they get it back. Maybe. I don't know. But I'm not holding feet to flame on that one. Something else that happened. Paxos is the company behind the latest stablecoin, USDG. Okay. I started talking about this last night with Kraken and Galaxy Digital and a few other companies starting the global dollar network. But I hadn't found out, who's actually building the stablecoin. And the people behind the stablecoin is Paxos. Let me tell you something. They want the US dollar to grow. They want stable coins to grow. It's going to be backed well. It's going to be pegged to the US dollar. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and there's a lot to unpack. It's a monetary move as well as I would think also not a political move, but a monetary move against BRICS. That's the way I see it. It's honestly the way I see it. So I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm interested to see how that plays out, see how that rolls. Then you have Bybit, arguably the world's number 2 centralized exchange out there. They just received a VASP license in Georgia, not the United States, the country Georgia. Let's get it straight. The National Bank of Georgia actually issued the license, and that's a really big deal as Bybit continues to seek to grow internationally, increasing their reach. And let me tell you something, they've got a cool interface. It's simple. It's not too much unlike Binance's interface. It's simple. You can figure it out. It's not hard. Make some good buys with it. But again, I tell people, I pay attention to the stable coins that are on there and the number of pairs that the stable coins have. Still, Tether's number 1. Then there's USDC. That's why I tell people, pay attention to stuff. It's not enough that there be a stable coin. It's who's using that stable coin, who's pairing that stable coin, who's recognizing that stable coin, and at what level. So there's that. Because there are things that I can get with USDT that I absolutely cannot get with USDC. And that's what I mean. So pay attention, folks. Pay very much attention. Then you have blockchain firm R3 looking to sell. They're looking to sell. Blockchain firm R3 reportedly seeks acquisition due to downturn in the private blockchain market, considering joint ventures or partial stake sales to navigate current challenges. In case you don't understand what that means is R3 helps build private blockchain solutions for various companies. And since there's not a huge market for that, they're kind of like, well, we need some money to survive, or we need to get bought out straight up. Yeah, there's that. So I'm sitting back and I'm saying to myself, well, you have Franklin Templeton with Benji, you have JP Morgan with JP Coin, you have a lot of companies that are out there that have built out their own blockchains. But once it's built, what are you doing? I mean, obviously you have to maintain it, but if you're building it, I'm going to make sure that my internal team learns how to maintain it, so I don't have to keep paying these high prices. I could just pay them regular salaries. That's the difference. So yeah, that's kind of a big deal to see that happen. And I didn't have my watermark up. That's so embarrassing. But you know what we should do? That's right. We should get into the numbers. Let me move my notes out of the way. And we'll start with the Grow My Bag Crypto Tracker top 25 losers. And there are not going to be a lot. See, right here. Bam. You got 7 losers. And that's it. Pendle is down 8%. They have a GMBX factor of 0.81x. Helium is down 6%, a GMBX factor of 8.62x. Could they make it? I have to think about Helium and whether or not I think they could make that 8.62x to get back to their all-time high. I think it's possible. I think it's possible with the angle of the upward momentum that I think is going to happen when everything really starts to take off. I have to think about that. But everything else, yeah, you're below 5%. You know my 5% rule. I don't play that nonsense. So yeah, nah. Then the top 25 winners, that list is just as small, right? It's only got 9 actual winners. So in here, who am I looking at? Doge is up 9%, to 17. It's got a 3.27 GMBX factor. Yeah, of course, I think it'll do it. Yeah, no, there's nothing else in here that I'm paying attention to. Everybody else is just moving sideways a bit. Then let's go look at the stock market and who's actually going to be reporting today. We have Marathon Petroleum, Apollo Global, financial institution, Cummins, Microchip Technology, not big, Gartner, Yum Brands, let's see, Consolidated Edison. Everybody in New York knows who they are. Archer Daniels, Archer Daniels Midland. Anybody else big? Broadridge is another one. Let's see. Yeah, nobody else really huge, coming out with numbers today. American Financial Group, but who are they? Their market cap is 10.64 billion, but more behind the scenes than anything else. Let's see. Assurant is another one. So you have a lot of companies coming out that span. You have a lot of companies coming out today. Wow, that's a long list. That really is a long list of companies that are coming out with noise today. Not bad, but still, I mean, nothing that I'm actually invested in. But I like knowing who's coming out because it can affect markets. If there are enough of those in a given market, you have enough that'll do it. So if you're looking at energy, you've got a few energy companies that are out there. Like I said, you have Emerson, you have Marathon. So you have a bit. You have the U.S. elections today. I voted early because I'm smart. So I voted early. Went to the voting station number 1330 for that specific machine I was using. So I know my vote counted, which is really cool. But yeah, that's the biggest news on the market today. That's going to weigh on the markets. Everybody's going to be paying attention to the market fluctuations, everything that's happening right now. And then you'll hear the aftermath tomorrow. That's how we'll be feeling it. Crypto Fear and Greed Index is holding steady at 70. DeFi Llama, we have $93.92 billion. $93.92 billion in total value locked. It's proper English, please. And then when you look at the big board, the only one that's up a heck of a lot, Doge. Well, I don't know who the heck that is, so I don't care. But Doge is up a lot. SHIB is up a little. These are the ones I'm paying attention to. But when I'm looking at a board like this, like I said, I go back to the GMB crypto tracker to help me organize my thoughts about where I want to put my money. That's honestly how I do it. And then you have, let's see, here's where Bitcoin is. See how it went down right there? But again, basically moving laterally within this space. Came close, came back down real fast. I think tomorrow we could see, starting tomorrow, we could actually see Bitcoin take off. Oh, excuse me. I mean, you might actually see later on in the night, you could actually see Bitcoin taking off at that point. So, am I going to be putting in a Bitcoin right now? I'll put a little bit in right now. And then later on, I'll put a little bit more. But I'm going to hold back a bit to see who wins and then follow my strategy for who wins, who loses. If I'm looking at the numbers going straight across, oh yeah, nah, got to go back to this one. No, I want to go, there you go. All right. So if I'm looking at this, yeah, Ethereum is taking it on the nose, but to me, that's a good price to buy at. BNB chain, way lower than where it was, but still look at that. And it's going to hit, 600 easy. It'll go up another 10% very easily. So $55, yeah, I'm not worried about that. So 612 around there, yeah, I'm all right with that. I'm all right with risking to make that 10% in the next less than a month, in my humble opinion. Solana is at a good place where I could buy all of them. And that's why I use the GME crypto tracker, because I can sit here and I can give you reasons to buy all of these coins, especially in the top 25. I can give you a reason to buy all of these coins. However, I need to know where I'm going to make the most money. See what I mean? So my DCA strategy is I have X amount of money. Now let's go look at the coins I want to put in. And I know how much money I'm going to put into Bitcoin. That's about the only one I do know. Then based on the information I get from the GMB crypto tracker, I'm going to put into those coins. And it's usually the same coins, but given where they are, my allocation sizes are different. Allocation sizes become different, right? And that's how I honestly, work it out, to see where I'm going to put my money. And then I, kind of look at my dry powder as I can do whatever the heck I want with it money. So, that's what I do. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you enjoy what I'm doing. If you do, hit the likes, subscribe to the channel, and if you can, become a member, because we've got a lot of things coming. If you don't believe me, listen to the show last night. I actually unveiled a lot of things that are on the immediate roadmap. And when I say immediate, I mean before Christmas. And there's still more. I haven't even told everybody everything. During this month's Big Bagger meeting, which will happen a little less than 2 weeks from now on a Sunday, there'll be major announcements there. Only the big baggers will know about it. They will be signed to secrecy until we actually launch. But we've got a lot of things happening before Christmas. And if I have my way, if we have our druthers, the team is working crazy hard to get a few of those things done before Thanksgiving. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for your time and trust. I hope to be back, as often as I possibly can. We will be returning tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with even more news. Have a good one. Bye-bye.